Hey everybody, and good morning again. We've tried this a few times this morning, and for whatever reason, stuff just hasn't been working out. So anyways, good morning. We're going to give this another shot, and welcome. I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body-mind expert and a shiatsu massage therapist, and my specialty is helping women really get reconnected to themselves, work on all of the physical, mental, and emotional blocks that get in the way of becoming, this amazing entrepreneur, this amazing healer and coach. So for next week, I decided to do an experiment. And the experiment is where I do 2 juices a day. And from these 2 juices a day, we're going to see if I can reach certain goals or not. Oh, and Julie Leask is here, my friend. Cool, very cool. Adding her now. So Julie is owner of Garden to Glass Juicery. Yay! There you are.
I am.
Nice to see you, Julie.
As well.
So Julie is with Garden to Glass Juicery, and she's out of Crystal Lake in northern Illinois. And she's doing an intake form with me today because next week we're going to be doing 2 juices a day to see if it can help me heal all sorts of interesting blocks, mental, emotional, and physical blocks in my life, and really take my practice to the next level. If you don't know what I do, I'm a massage therapist and coach, and I specialize in Eastern medicine and working through all those nagging things that make you feel lousy, that get in your way of really achieving the things that you want to achieve. So, Julie, you're going to do an intake form with me today. So today it's kind of your ball. And so I'm going to hand it over to you. And if you want to start, go right ahead.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay,
Great.
good. Yesterday I was having a hard time hearing, so I've got these earphones today, a little microphone. So just let me know if it cuts out on us. But
nope, it works great.
Okay. Well, I mean, when people come to me and want to do some kind of a cleanse, the first question that I ask them is, what are they looking to get out of the cleanse? So
Okay.
There are so many benefits to doing a juice detox. There's a whole list of them. There's the physical aspects of reducing inflammation, to detoxify the body, to reduce stress, to get focused. Maybe somebody wants to have a breakthrough of some kind, an emotional healing, just get present in the moment, whatever it might be. But usually when people have an idea to start a cleanse, they have a reason. And finding out that reason is the best way for me to be able to put something together to help them achieve those goals. So that would be my first question to you is, what would you be looking to get out of this journey that you're on right now?
Okay. So what I'd like to get is to get the physical issues out of my way so that I can stay motivated and energized and on point to really do this amazing growth that I'm taking in my practice. So I'm taking my practice from, I've had it for like 10 or 11 years, and I work with people one-on-one. And I know that now's the time to take it to an international level, to take it to a bigger scale. And to do that, I need to have even more resources coming in. I need to have more nourishment. I need to have even better practices, because one of my mantras is that when you want to do more, you need to be having more resources coming in. Because if you try to give to people or do things from an empty well, then it'll all fall apart. But when you give from your overflow, when you've got so much coming in, love, connection, nourishment, energy, inspiration, advice, when you have so much coming in, then you have more than enough to give to other people. And so that's really my focus. Is I want to take me to a higher level of beingness, especially in my practice, which means that I need to have more coming in so that that I can do it. So that I can keep a few more plates spinning. and I can get that focus and that inspiration and that intuition, and cut off so much wasted time or wasted energy, used to just try to feel better. So if I can get some good practices in place that really nourish me and give me even more of what I need, then I know it'll help me go to this next level.
Sure. So, I mean, there's a lot there, and it's
Yeah, I know.
there's a lot there, and which is wonderful. That's what we all want, is to be able to live to our fullest potential, have each day be where we're actually capable to be present and to be mindful and to be there for other people, and take care of ourselves, and have connection to creativity and spontaneity and communication, all of those things. We want to be running on full capacity. So that's where your health comes into play. And one of the, a quote that is, that rings true for me, that I put together a little information packet of benefits of juice cleansing, and how to do one and why to do one and that sort of a thing. And one of the things that I like to point out is from Frank Lipman, mentions that 70% of our serotonin is made in our gut. So if you think about the serotonin, what that does for us, then obviously we need to start with the gut lining, and how whatever we consume is what would begin to manifest through our organs, our thoughts, our emotions. And so it stems out in every part of our being is when we have good health, and when we have good nutrition and absorption and digestion, and we're feeling good. So we want to be able to wake that up, and doing a juice cleanse is a great motivator to because we're saying, I'm going to do this, and so you set an intention, and then usually you have to buy one, or you buy the produce, or you do something like that, where there's a financial commitment to it as well, and that usually motivates people. And we set time aside and say, this is something that I'm going to do for myself. So those are the great things to start right off the bat. And ways to do a juice detox, or even just to be mindful in your day, just on an everyday level, is to there's uses for food. And one of my favorite foods in the morning is warm lemon water. So warm is important, not hot, not cold, but warm, a little bit heated, just under 120 degrees, like 118, is a good spot to begin with some lemon. And I mean like a whole lemon. And what that does is, you take it in, it immediately cleanses out your sinuses, and you can feel brain activity, a surging of waking up your senses, not to mention that it goes deep into your organs and starts to kickstart the liver, and wake up all of your senses and get you present for the day. And the warmth is very nourishing and comforting, and we need that. We're humans. We need warmth. Starting your day off with something cold and rushing out the door it takes away our presence, to get us in body. So you want to be able to do something warm right off the bat, and especially when you're doing a juice cleanse, you want to start with some warmth, and then you would choose
how do you what's the best way that you warm up, let's say, your water, your lemon water? Do you stick it in the microwave?
No,
or?
absolutely not. But I just take
Okay.
it. So yeah, I try to stay away from microwaves. It's kind of, everything I do is a lot to do with just kind of the old-fashioned way of cooking. So I just take a pot of water, and put it on the stove. I actually have a little thermometer that hangs out of it because I use it every day. And I just heat it to 118 degrees, pour it in a nice glass, and a full glass of water. And then I squeeze a whole lemon in there. I put some fresh pressed turmeric, or even just your simply organic turmeric powder if you're in a hurry. But I do turmeric and pepper. I can put all kinds of things in there that'll give me this kind of warming tincture, is what it is, and it's medicinal. So that's one of my best things. And I have people that really aren't into health or into juicing and they want to make a positive change, I talk about the power of the lemon. And that's just the first thing to start with. And so what that does is when people are wanting to have, I mean, that is wonderful for our guts. And when you think about the things that you had mentioned, you're not only talking about the physical aspects of health, but also the emotional and mental. And you can go on so many levels of the physical level. You would talk about organs and direct pouring out to people, your communication, your creativity, your emotions they trigger our actions. How we feel is what we do in our day. And so your actions, your will, and your thoughts, what you're thinking, your mental energy to have a spark of getting motivated. So there are ways to balance your everyday being with food. There are warming things like ginger or cinnamon if you want to be able to kickstart, move away from procrastination or laziness. If you're just, in that state of saying, I really want to do this, but I can't seem to reach it, a little bit of ginger root and something to warm you will kick people out of that cycle of procrastination. They're needing something warm in their daily diet.
So I had an aura photograph done recently. And in the aura photograph, it showed that my my digestive, where that chakra is, it was very low. It was very not strong at all. My root chakra was super, warm and vibrant, but my digestion area, my digestion chakra, had so little movement and activity. And because of my past and because of my issues, I struggled with an eating disorder for a really long time. And when I'm super stressed out, I can't eat at all. And so that's been something that tends to get in my way, that I really struggle with, is is when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel good right off the bat. And
Right.
it's because I'm still trying to get my digestion system back on board. And I've done lots of things, but I'm ready in my life to be like, you know what? If I can get this sorted out, it will take me to the next level. So digestion will really be one of the keys for me that I want to focus on next week when we do the juices.
Yeah. And absolutely. And I think that's a very common problem for many people. I know living in the Midwest you wake up and there's seasonal depression. It's gray, it's cold. So that is a common ailment in this region. And I talk to people about it often, even for myself. That's why I drink that warm lemon water in the morning, because we all have a lot of things to get done in the day. We have a lot of things we want to achieve. We want to be there and have our full potential. So food will help to combat those things in such a mighty way that it will give that edge that we need. It's a tool. So I would say it's definitely
Right.
something to put into your juice detox for sure. That's one of the things I would add. And then also, I guess the other thing, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing that I would ask people is, what is your palate like? So when people start to juice, their palate starts to change. So they might be leaning towards something sweet, and then over time, their palate changes to more natural foods, and they would more live food. So you start to crave that kind of food as a result of it. But in the beginning, if they're going to do a juice detox, then I would ask them, are they okay with a lot of greens? Do they want to add some carrot in there? What type of things are they responsive to? And that's how I would start to create their 6-pack that they're going to take home with them. So what would you be tending to?
Well, I would be tending towards something that is as nourishing as possible. Because of the eating disorder I had, and that I struggle with, of when I'm stressed out, when I'm busy, I just don't eat at all. I've never had a really good flow of nourishment coming into me. You know, I've created it in so many other areas of my life, but food wise is that one piece that I haven't. And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to is I'm like, okay, consistent nourishment that comes into me to give me the building blocks that
Mhm.
will take uh, my ability and my potential and be like, oh, this is this is how I'm supposed to feel. This is how I'm supposed to be. And I've hit those moments a lot in my life. You know, every time I go through a milestone and I reclaim like another part of my soul, I've moved up to another level of beingness, and I've done that most of my life. And this is, you know, and it's almost like as time goes by, you know, you deal with the most recent problem you had, and then you go back 10 years, and then you go back 20 years, and then you go back 30 years. So now I'm at the point where I'm going back to, you know, when I was 3, 4, 5 years old, and I just didn't get enough nourishment. And that's been a foundational piece for me. So I want things that will really uh, give me a well balanced, solid foundation of um, of life force,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. Plant based. So, you
Yeah.
know, there are so many plant based options to have into our diet, and it just becomes, it's about becoming aware of what's available. And I love being able to share those things. So, when I create a juice recipe for yourself, I would talk to you about that, what you're looking to do, create the juices from there with a little list of instructions. Obviously, preparation prior to a juice cleanse is really important. So the couple days leading up to it, you definitely want to start to prepare by avoiding alcohol and processed foods, dairy, sugar, that sort of thing, to get your body ready for the maximum potential of a juice detox. So, and then it's just as important when you're coming off of your detox to integrate whole food gradually. So you want to start with maybe some potatoes, you know, vegetables that are cooked, you know, slightly cooked and nice and warm and very soothing. So warm, soothing is really important prior and after and during. So,
So one
and
of my biggest, one of the things that I want to accomplish is make this a regular, you know, of either one juice a day or two juices a day, something that's a regular nourishment source for me. That's what I want this to turn into, is not kind of a one-off thing that I do once a month, but rather something that I do every day or every other day,
sure,
that keeps me at that higher level, you know, like
yes.
a smart life practice.
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's interesting, Rita, because I just met you a couple weeks before and we did a juice cleanse, and already we're back again to be able to talk about the next journey of this 2 week, you know, process talking about juice. And that's what it does for us. When people get on a health kick, when they become like ready, then they get introduced to these remedies that have a real impact. They really work immediately. You sense that it's working, and it's just from having live food. You want more of it, and that's what happens. We just make room for it in our lives, and it becomes a daily practice. So that's kind of the journey of it. That's why I think it's amazing. That's why I share it with people as much as I can. And this is, again, just proof of it, that you come back wanting some more. What else could I do? How else could I feel good like this on a daily basis? And
Right.
that's, yeah, so it makes sense. You know, bring juice into your life. It's a great tool to have long lasting impact, and a juice a day is wonderful. So
So
the
what I'd
next
like
question that
all
I
of this, mhm, go
go,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, well, so I mean, overall, I want to fix my digestion so that I have more energy,
Yes.
focus, and less downtime because I don't feel good, so that I can really glow and vibrate and be alive at a level that isn't just getting by, which is not what I do. I actually have a really amazing life.
Yeah.
But it isn't just, you know, where I'm at, I'm ready to go to a whole nother level of beingness, both with my business, mainly with my business. You know, I'm ready to take it to an international level and I'm ready to be that person. And for that, I need more coming in. And my gut's a big one, and making sure I have solid, regular nourishment and the missing pieces, you know, not just a vitamin, you know,
No.
to take me to that another
Yeah.
level.
Yes, and that's again why I speak so much about the nourishment of the food, but also the relationship, the communication, the connection with people, the warmth and the nurturing for ourselves. Those things are so important. It's not just what we put into our bodies of just I'm going to eat this good food. It's our heart. So you know, getting your heart where you're nourishing yourself is really important, especially with healers. We give so much to other people that it's common to forget for yourself, and so that's going to be a huge breakthrough is to learn to nourish with warmth. I think that's really important.
And that's been one of the, you know, in the past when I've done things because it was a good idea. You know, it's like it was smart. Like, okay, if I do this, it will take me in the direction I want to go. But it's fun because this year isn't about it isn't about this is a good idea. It's about, you know what? I really want to see how good I can feel. I really want to see what my potential is. You know, where I can go with this. And that's it's no longer, it's not just, well, I should do this, or it's a good idea, or it's smart. It's, no, I am ready to explore, you know, explore everything that might be available to me. So I want to start with a really great foundation.
Sure. Great. Well, when would you like to start the juice detox?
Well, I wanted to do the juicing on starting Monday, and then I wanted to do like two juices a day for 5 days.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a live stream every day and, you know, show people what I'm drinking for the day and, you know, have them kind of watch my progress and give feedback so that I can be the guinea pig for everybody that's, you know, that hangs out with me on Facebook.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, we'll be ready.
Awesome. Do you have an idea of already of some of the things that you might put in?
Well, sure. I mean, I have my basic juice detox that is a list of juice that's the starting point for people. And so that's on display all the time. And they're ingredients that are powerful tools for detoxifying liver and skin. Um, you know, it's soothing. So a lot of heavy greens: dandelion, cilantro, parsley, spinach, kale, lemon, ginger, that sort of thing. Low sugar. You know, not a lot of fruit. So carrot, beet are things that people would want to balance their all green juice cleanse with. So it depends on the person, and there's a starting off point of being able to have a list of ingredients, and then I modify from there based on what the person's palate is ready for at this time. So there's, you know, carrot, apple, lemon, and ginger is an immunity booster that people really love. In the morning, it gives them that kickstart. There's grapefruit drinks, pineapple, cayenne drinks for the morning to kickstart the liver. Uh, and so I have an idea of what we would put together for you, just based off of what we did previously. But for the two juices a day, I would recommend a morning jump of some of the ingredients I had mentioned to give you that motivation and clarity and the kickstart for the day. And then into the evening, I would end on with greens, because greens are heavy detoxifiers and digestion soothers. So when you do that at night, it gives you better sleep. So a little better.
Cool.
So greens help people sleep. So into the evening of maybe 6 o'clock or something like that, to have your second juice, 5, 6 o'clock, whatever you want to do. Then it's so light and will aid in your sleep, and better sleep, of course, is part of our good health. So that's some of the ideas that I have for your 5 day journey.
That's really cool. I'm excited. It's gonna. I just, you know, I'm thinking about all of these. I've done plant medicine for a long time. You know, I did shamanic work, for about 10 years. And plant medicine like sage and sweetgrass and different ways that plants engage with the body. In many indigenous cultures, the plants have personalities, and the rocks have personalities. So it's almost like when I think of drinking a juice with all of those different cool, fun ingredients in it, I think of them as each one's like a personality and a friend, and so I'm when I drink a juice, it's like a community to me. So I'm drinking a whole tribe of plants, which are on my side. So I really see it kind of in a Disney-esque way, where the plants are alive and they're dancing and they're playing in the fields. And so when I think of drinking, a juice like that, I think, wow, I'm going to be able to really bring the history and the lineage of all of those plants, into my body. I went to Colombia for a few weeks, probably about 7 years ago or so, and I studied with the Ariwaku, who are the indigenous people of Colombia. And one of the things they impressed upon me is when you eat, you have to think about the whole history. In anything you do, you want to think back through the seasons and where did these plants come from? And not just this year, but where did the seeds for these plants come from? And what life cycle did they go through? And where did those come from? And what life cycle did that happen? And how many people touched them and nurtured them? And all of that life force of all of those people for going back as long as that plant's life and lineage was, that's what I'm putting in my body. So when I think of things like cilantro, which aren't, they weren't native to Illinois. And so I'm bringing together all of these great cultures and people and life and love, drinking it in a mason jar. I mean, so that's what I think about when I drink something as wonderful as what you're creating, is that this is a whole tribe,
Mhm.
and it's super exciting for me to
Yes.
think I'm going global, I'm becoming international, and so I'm drinking things which will connect me to the lineage of everybody on earth.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of aligning yourself to your true intent and having more of an impact in the world. So, being true to yourself and practicing those things in your daily life, it's a wonderful, step off of becoming, and and so
Cool. I'm super excited
me too.
to have my new tribe of of plants that will help me really see what's possible, see what's out there. Okay, cool. So, anything else from you today?
Uh, no, just thank you for having me on
Yeah,
today. And I
yeah.
think that the work that you do with women entrepreneurs is amazing. I mean, women in general, just being able to have a place to come to and talk about healing and being a part of that, it's powerful. It's a wonderful place to be, and just to be included I feel great. Thank you so much. I
Thanks.
know
Thanks
that
for
you're
being a
already
part.
having breakthroughs for myself to get me on Facebook and to put, express further. Is growth already. So I think
Good.
it's wonderful.
Well, you totally deserve it because you've got the chops and the experience and the background, and I want to help you get what you know out to women everywhere, because this is an easy habit that will take us to a whole different level of being. Very cool. Okay,
Okay,
so I will see you next Monday. We'll do a kickoff for the juices for the day, and we'll see where we go. Okay.
okay, sounds great. Thank
Cool.
you. Bye.
Bye, Julie. Thanks.
Thank you.